Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept them things, baby, 50 times during the 16-game season era. Clap it up, man. Clap it up. Thursday Night Vibes, man. How we doing out there? I hope everyone is feeling good tonight, man. If y'all can't see, man, I got a new little touch-up, man. How we doing, man? We got a few things to discuss. Free agency is right around the corner, man, and teams are trying to stack their teams up and place the right players in the right place so they can get to the Super Bowl. Let me bring on my codes for tonight. 2-3 Dries. How are we doing tonight, baby? How are we doing?
Make interceptions great again, man. Make interceptions great. You gotta get your shirt. Get your shirt. Get your hat.
Make interceptions great again, man. We got to get that shirt, man. We got to get that hat, that shirt. They're trying to do away with the interceptions. Shout out to the chat. Joanne in the building, man. Always showing up first, showing love, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hype it up, man. Do the new thing, man. Hype this thing up, man. You know, ain't no one talking and giving it to you raw, like say what needs to be said. And Mr. Pick Six. Yes, sir, man. So tonight, on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Stefon Diggs, A.J. Brown, where will he possibly end up at, man? Is he still worthy of a first-round pick, second-round pick? Or what is he worth, man? And Logan Paul is calling out all football players, current football players to be exact, saying he'll knock them out, throttle people like Myles Garrett. And the last segment of the night will be Ryan Clark. I have an update for you guys of our ongoing powwow, me and Ryan Clark. You know, it's getting deep, man. It's getting worse and worse, man. Ryan Clark doesn't want to step up to the table, baby. He keeps running faster than whatever the cheetah in the wild.
I can't wait till we get to that part, man. I can't wait for the update.
Yeah, man. So if y'all haven't heard, man, y'all know, man, that Stefon Diggs has become one of the most popular guys in NFL since this new relationship and dating one of the most popular rappers, female rappers in the game. You know, every time you talk about, anytime Stefon Diggs has a situation, take a picture somewhere, going out of town, you know, they make it a big deal, right? And obviously he's been released, and I mean, every big news station, every big media outlet has picked it up and said he's released. And of course, they attached it to Cardi B's ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, well, however they want to play it, you know? So he's very popular now. He's very popular. And if you don't know, he has been released, and he's no longer with the New England Patriots. He played one season there, helped them get to the Super Bowl. And now he's no longer there, man. He's no longer there. And this game is loyal to no one, man. At the end of the day, it's loyal to no one. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, you name it. A lot of players have been through contract disputes, disagreements, and felt like they haven't been treated fairly in their process of being on teams and things like that, myself included, right? But the difference is, too, once players hit their 30s, you know, their roster spots become expendable. Usually after any guarantees expire from the contract. And a person in a position like Stefon Diggs, if they don't agree to take a pay cut, obviously they will be released. And in some situations, you know, players sign back with that team that just released them, and it's at a much cheaper price. I'm not sure if Stefon Diggs is going to make it back to New England, but there have been situations where players sign back to the same team for a much cheaper price. Stefon Diggs refused Patriots' request before getting cut. I mean, that is obvious. That happens. And it says, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported Wednesday that Diggs will be cut after the start of the new league's year on March 11th. This move will free up $16.8 million in cap space for the reigning AFC championship. Let me say that again. This move will free up $16.8 million in cap space for the reigning AFC champion. According to Savage Sports, the Patriots wanted to restructure Diggs' contract, but he wasn't interested in doing so. That report hasn't been confirmed or denied.
I know the reason, man. I know the reason why he got cut.
What was the reason, brother? What was the reason?
Man, they making space. They making space for that trade. they want the big boy AJ Brown to come to town.
or they have to pay Christian Gonzalez, man. I mentioned that during the season or right after the Super Bowl that Stefon Diggs was in jeopardy of not being with the New England Patriots no more. And it could have been for a lot of different reasons. But yes, teams are always looking to upgrade and make their team better. But at the end of the day, when players in Stefon Diggs' position get released, it comes down to the money. Follow the money. Everybody knows that. Follow the money. You got to follow the money.
I was even surprised at the beginning of the season when they gave him that contract coming off the tour ACL. I mean, he older, and they gave him like a lot of money up front. I'm like surprised by that. Well, I guess they cut the ties loose, get some of that back.
Yeah, some of those contracts, they seem they're misrepresented to the average fans and people who haven't been in the NFL. It might be a 2-3 year contract on paper, but it's really a 1 year deal. You know, when the guarantees are gone, the players' roster spot is pretty much done with. You know, especially if they have a high salary cap, an older player, things like that. But for Stefon Diggs, I think he let his pride get in the way in New England. You know, if New England wasn't trying to make him take a hefty pay cut, which they probably was. But at the end of the day, I think he's letting his pride get in the way because I don't see too many teams excited about signing a player over 30 with looming legal trouble, which Stefon Diggs has, right? Right after the Super Bowl, he had to report to the courthouse and be arraigned for a hearing. And you got to think about those type of things and scenarios when you're in a situation like Stefon Diggs. Should I or should I not agree to a restructure because I understand that I have some liability, you know, looming, you know what I mean? But if for some reason Stefon Diggs is unfortunately found guilty of these charges against him, it would make teams more hesitant to sign him to a decent contract. It would have been easy for him to negotiate a restructure with New England and make sure he had a paycheck coming in. Because that's what you want to guarantee at the end of the day for us, you know, us players. We want to make sure we are getting paid. We have a paycheck coming in whenever the time of these paychecks supposed to show up. And with legal troubles looming and have to pay lawyers and all these different type of things, settlements, it doesn't feel good, man.
Another thing, like you said, the age, man. So it's not many teams out there going to give them the chance, just like you said. So taking that restructure to stay with a team, at least you're going to know you're going to be on the team. Other than like it's up in the air, basically jobless right now. It's up in the air. I'm not sure if his agent was already in contact with some people and they already got something looming. But as of right now, everything is a mystery. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if you're going to play next season.
It's hard for your agent to go out there and work for you and reach out to teams and expect them to be interested in a player who's over 30 and with legal trouble looming. Like I said, and especially, you know, Stefon Diggs, he's a character in himself. You know, he showed that he can definitely be a team's player and abide by the team and not be the same player that he was before at other teams and have those outbursts and things like that and help a team ultimately get to the Super Bowl because that's what he did. He was one of the main factors to help lead in New England to the Super Bowl on the field and off the field. Just being a leader in the New England, you know, being a veteran, having that veteran leadership around there. You know what I mean? But for Diggs, by not taking a pay cut, man, it puts his status in a tricky scenario. You know, but plenty of teams would be happy to sign Stefon Diggs to the league minimum if that's what it comes down to. You know.
Do you know? You think of any good fits for him right now, or off the top of your head, any good fits for him?
Well, it's hard to think of any good fits. I mean, despite the legal troubles and everything he has going forward and going against him, I mean, going into his ninth, 10th season, he's turning 32, I think, 32 or 33 in November. Any good fits? I consider Stefon Diggs a possession receiver. He isn't that deep threat, big play receiver that he once was, and he never really had that breakaway speed that those fast guys have in the NFL. So you have to look at places where he can go in and be a good um, third down type of receiver or possession receiver. And I think Pittsburgh, if Aaron Rodgers decided to come back, that's a whole nother situation in itself. But if Aaron Rodgers decided to come back, if Stefon Diggs signed with Pittsburgh, I think that could be a good fit, and they could connect and work really well together right off the rip. You know, a lot of egos with those two guys playing together. But yeah, I think that is one of the places he can possibly fit. I'm not sure about Buffalo or him reuniting in Buffalo, how Joe Brady, the new head coach, feels about him. But with the signing of DJ Moore, bringing in a guy like Stefon Diggs for a much cheaper price, that is good business in the game of football, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you add in players for a much cheaper price, but a lot of value. And Stefon Diggs, like I said, he can still bring a lot of value, you know, playing a certain role, you know.
For sure. He was the only player last year on the Patriots to get over 1,000 yards. So you know he still put up 1,000 yards. He's still going to do his thing. But all the legal troubles and everything that come with it, if a team ready for that, they might as well go ahead and take that chance. And it depends on the price tag too. A lot of factors depending on the price tag.
You see how dirty this game is, man. NFL, right? You think the team you play with, they love you, they're loving on you, they're treating you so well. And you would have thought Stefon Diggs was guaranteed to be around at least one more season after advancing to the Super Bowl. You know how Mr. Kraft was glazing all over him and Cardi B, being on stage, dancing, having a great time.
You called it earlier. You was like, I don't think Stefon Diggs gonna be back. So you knew something.
Yeah, because I've been there, I've seen it, man, and I've been a part of these scenarios, and I know all of this love is fake love. You know, this isn't real love. What Mr. Kraft is doing, of course, he's enjoying his life, and he's not trying to say he's act like it's real love. He's just enjoying the life and enjoying the festivities as the owner of the New England Patriots. But the perception and what it gives us and what it looks like, it's like, I know Stefon Diggs himself. He's like, man, I thought I was Mr. Kraft's number one guy. Me and Mike Vrabel, we had an understanding that I'm going to be around and help lead this team. But, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Contract disputes and being released is inevitable in the NFL. Like I said, if you play long enough, that's the one thing Belichick taught me. You play long enough, you will have a contract dispute in the NFL. This league is a 30 and under man's league. Once you hit the age of 30, you are considered old in the NFL for skilled players, not including quarterbacks. Once you hit the age of 30, man, they look at you like, man, you can't move no more. Your speed has automatically decreased, and all type of different stigmas they throw on us players.
I feel like as running backs, I feel like running backs is the first ones to like get the devalue in they and their abilities and skills and things like that. Like running backs, probably like 28, 29, they start to think like, oh no, you're getting too old as a running back. I feel like they always like the first ones.
Running back has like a 6-year window where that they're considered still young. After 6-7 years, man, it's over for running back. They can't even make it to the age of 30 and still be considered young in the NFL.
Right. Which is crazy.
For the New England Patriots, there's some good talent that's going to be available during the free agency, that I think can easily pick up the slack for Stefon Diggs' production, while that he's no longer going to be there. And I think the perfect fit for the New England Patriots would be Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce would be a really good fit to take over Stefon Diggs and pair up with Drake May. I like that. I like what Alec Pierce brings to the table. I hope New England Patriots is aggressive in this free agency, but obviously they rumors are that they're already trying to be aggressive. They're already out there throwing the numbers out there.
They out here making. I said they out here making offers. They trying to upgrade for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Stefon Diggs, man, his last season or one season with the New England Patriots had 85 targets. 102 targets, 85 catches, and just over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, he was the most productive receiver for the New England Patriots. I don't think this is too hard to replace, especially with the way Drake May is playing. Don't look at the Super Bowl. I know everybody is still caught up on the Super Bowl. What have you done for me lately is what it's all about. But yeah, man, I think this is easy to replace with a guy like Alec Pierce, man. Obviously, he's going to command a big number, but he has the speed. He has the ability to work the middle of the field, the intermediate routes, and Alec Pierce will be a big threat for Drake May to have in the New England Patriots, along with all the other players at receiver that the New England Patriots have. But what the big question is, what is A.J. Brown going to do? What are the Philadelphia Eagles going to do with A.J. Brown? And if anybody didn't know that's listening to this live, man, Mike Vrabel and A.J. Brown, they have a pass. They have a pass. And Mike Vrabel was responsible for drafting A.J. Brown, if I'm correctly, or he became the head coach when I think it was A.J. Brown rookie year. But I'm sure that Mike Vrabel drafted him, you know? And it was some issues. They had some issues in Tennessee trying to get along, and A.J. Brown had a hard time adapting to the NFL ways, right? Mike Vrabel ways coming from New England and how they do things. And with all that being said, I know Mike Vrabel is trying his best to rewrite or reunite with A.J. Brown and right any wrongs done in Tennessee with A.J. Brown by trying to bring him back to New England. And I just think the asking price is too high. I think the asking price is too high. I think it's too high.
That's on purpose.
Of course, that's on purpose.
The Eagles don't want to get rid of him, but they like, if you want him, we need this.
If you want him that bad, and that's usually how he plays ball for the New England Patriots and does his trades and things like that. He starts off very aggressive with a high number, and he would take this trade in rumors and have players on the trading blocks all the way up into training camp, and then he will make a move. He'll take the best offer and just feeding it out there, listening around and seeing what people are willing to give up. And yeah, man, A.J. Brown, I think with DJ Moore, with the Buffalo Bills giving up a second rounder for DJ Moore, it kind of make A.J. Brown's asking price a little more seriously, that first round of that the Philadelphia Eagles is asking for. Because they both receivers had pretty much the same amount of production, But I don't see anyone giving up that first rounder. If you give up a first rounder for A.J. Brown heading into his 8th, 9th, 10th season,
I think somebody will.
If you do that,
especially the later Patriots got with a 32 pick.
Yeah,
that's not really. I mean, no,
that's a good point.
Pick. Yeah, that's a higher point. I feel like they would risk that known player that they know, like Vrabel know him. I mean, of course they had a disagreement. I remember A.J. Brown told a story where like Vrabel was being hard on him as a rookie, and he said like, you need to be taking notes. He's writing in his notes. He's writing, I hate Vrabel, just to make me like. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
But now as he's older and mature, he understands that Vrabel is trying to make him the best player he is. So he got like love for the Patriots because he grew up a Patriots fan. Then like Vrabel was there, so his love for the Patriots is very high. So I won't be I won't be surprised at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say Mike Vrabel's trying to right any wrongs he's done or had with A.J. Brown while he was in Tennessee, while they was in Tennessee together. And yeah, they probably misunderstood each other, and also Mike Vrabel recognized how gifted and good of a player A.J. Brown is, And now, like you say, he just want to get him back, man, and just, you know, don't have any regrets. Yeah,
And I
I'm
really
sure.
believe
Huh?
AJ Brown, like since AJ Brown been in the Eagles and he's been with Mike Vrabel, I believe he thinks Mike Vrabel is a better coach than Nick Sirianni. So
Yeah,
he at first he thought like, damn, I got Mike Vrabel, I hate him. And then he came to Nick Sirianni, he's like,
yeah,
Mike Vrabel was the guy, man. He know what he's doing. Like
yeah.
he loves him more. I mean, I'm pretty sure that happens with everybody. Somebody been hard on you. It only gotta be coach. It could be teachers. It could be anybody. And you like, man, I hate this person. And after you get mature, you older, and I'm like, everything they were saying, they was telling me was right. Like,
Yeah.
and they was right on point.
It's just
So
about maturity, man. It's just about
yeah,
growth and things like that. And that's pretty much what happened for both uh Mike Vrabel as a coach and AJ Brown as a player. Um, it was new to Mike Vrabel and as well as AJ Brown coming into the NFL. And every these coaches out here have different coaching styles. You could come from college and your coach may not be that authoritarian type of coach, right? He might be a pushover or a laid back type of coach, and he's a player's type of coach, and you're not used to the discipline and things like that. And once you get to the NFL, now you have a coach who's very strict. He wants things done exactly the way he wants them done, and that breeds success. But some players might not understand that because of the situation you come from. Even free agents and things like that, coming from different teams in the NFL. So it's adjustment for all of us, all around the board. But you know, um, just giving up a first round. I wanted to speak on that. Giving up a first rounder for any player, but a player like AJ Brown, I mean that potentially sets the team back 10 plus years because that first round pick is potentially supposed to have a 10-year awesome career, a couple of Pro Bowls, couple of All Pros, a lot of Pro Bowls and things like that. Those are the expectations for a first rounder. So when you're giving up a first rounder, that season needs to be an awesome season. I mean, making it back to the Super Bowl, you can say that is good enough, but ultimately, they need to win the Super Bowl. If you're going to give up a first rounder for that, for a certain player, and you could go right into the draft and get a player. So let's check him out. AJ Brown, man. Here we go. AJ Brown. AJ Brown, pretty consistent throughout his career, man. He had those 2 crazy seasons in Philadelphia, and that pretty much what hurt Mike Vrabel hard, man. When Tennessee Titans let AJ Brown go, he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles and lights it up. Almost 1,500 yards receiving both seasons, and Mike Vrabel had to sit back and watch that, right? So after that, he's pretty consistent, 1,000-yard receiver. But what I want you to notice is the targets, the amount of targets that AJ Brown get. I mean, he has a career high of 158, which is, I guess you could say, kind of normal for the number 1 receivers in the NFL, the Jamar Chase, Justin Jeffersons, and things like that, right? And players like that. But his last season, this past season in Philly, AJ Brown was targeted 121 times. That was 11th in the NFL. And he only came down with barely 1,000 yards. Barely 1,000 yards. Philly was trying to get the ball to AJ Brown. They was trying to get it to him. Mm-hmm. And that was a big issue for AJ Brown and everyone else talking about the offense. Offense took a step back last season, but he can't say he wasn't trying to get the ball to AJ Brown. Probably trying to get the football to him too much, and that caused a lot of troubles for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles offense, man. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. I don't know what AJ Brown. At the end of the day, if Howie isn't ready to take a second rounder, maybe a third rounder and a player, something like that, AJ Brown probably has to stay around for another season. I don't think he's a player, or I don't know if he's any guarantees left in his contract, but I don't know if he's cuttable, you know what I mean, per se. So
yeah, it also depends on AJ Brown how you feeling when training camp come out. If he start coming up to training camp and want to sit out, So
Yeah.
it's turning a whole nother situation, and it's like kind of like what Michael Parsons did, and that's how Michael Parsons ended up going to Green Bay.
Come through with an attitude, acting like, man, he's entitled to be traded, or coming to put his foot down. He can force his way up out of that, most definitely. And one thing Howie has learned about Andy Reid, man, you start whining and bitching and things like that, man, I get you up out of here quickly, man. And that's what happened we could see with C.J. Gardner and Darius Slay, whether their time was up or not. Howie made a move, man. Howie made a move. But yeah, man. So that's New England Patriots, AJ Brown, the Philadelphia Eagles, and Stefon Diggs, man. We'll keep updating. I told y'all about these situations way before it came to play, and it's present. I told you about Stefon Diggs, and I told you about AJ Brown. Both of these players are potentially not going to be with the team anymore, as Stefon Diggs isn't anymore. All right, man. So now we got Logan Paul. Logan Paul, if y'all haven't heard, man, Logan Paul, who is Jake Paul's brother. If you don't know the Logan Paul and Jake Paul brothers, they out here, man. They out here causing a lot of ruckus in the boxing and football world as of lately, I should say, man. And I guess Logan Paul is looking for the smoke. He's looking for some smoke, and not just from boxers. Sorry. He's calling out football players. Big, grown, muscular, athletic, the best athletes in the world. He's calling out. He decides to call out football players. He says he will beat up any football player, that's in the NFL to be exact, and put $1 million on it. Man, that's bold.
Dude, Tom Brady does not want to throw hands. There's a clip of him out there, of him calling me a bitch.
Logan Paul the skills he's a football?
To Gronk of all people, who I beat up all of his brothers back to back. The Gronks lined up, and I beat them up back to back to back. And guess who didn't step in there? Mr. Gronk himself. And yet they're calling me a bitch.
Don't do this.
I do think it's cute. If any of the football players want to fight, we can see what happens.
What football players would straight up beat his ass?
Not a single one.
Name one.
Not a single one.
Don't do all that, bro.
I would put any amount of money that you could put.
DK.
Metcalf?
There you go.
Not a single football player could beat me in a boxing match.
Miles Garrett.
That is on God.
Miles Garrett?
I would throttle Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett. Man. I will bet you why did we choose him? It could be any name, but any football player. Miles Garrett.
Is he getting beside himself, y'all? Let me know in the chat. Is he getting beside himself?
Puka Nacua, Tom Brady, Gronk. I don't even know.
Don't even try calling out Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
No, don't do it, bro.
Doesn't matter. $1 million.
I mean, he sleep on Puka Nacua, man. Puka Nacua, you see, he's hard to bring down. He's a very tough guy. But we'll get into it. Let's get back in.
$1 million. You come to the gym, we put on boxing gloves, we see how it goes. Not a single one. Like, it's this. There's levels to the shit.
Chado Chocinco?
Bro, stop. I will throw hands with any of you motherfuckers, bro.
What about Antonio Brown?
Stop. What happens when you take a football player and you wrestle them and then you ground and pound them? They're not going to know what to do.
All right. At the end of that, I think he's trying to bring a little wrestling into it, or maybe talking about UFC fighting in the cage or something like that. But strictly boxing, that's what I want to talk about, because that's pretty much what he was alluding to at first. And he's talking about boxing, right? But at the end of the day, right, Logan Paul, man, he's around 6'2", probably over 200 pounds. Looks like has pretty good size, you know what I mean? So he has the size to fight big dudes, right? You can gain as much weight you want in boxing, and you can lose what how much you need to lose if you need to make a certain weight. You know what I mean? But he has the advantage. He has the advantage because he's been training for fighting for a while now, and being a professional or an amateur professional boxer, you know what I mean? So he has more he has the advantage over football players to be able to call them out because football players, they have been training for football.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's calling out players like Myles Garrett, that's when it gets a little dangerous. When you calling out players like Myles Garrett and you give Myles Garrett a little bit of training, oh man, that is scary.
It's all because of Tom Brady hurt his heart. Like during Super Bowl week, Tom Brady was on a podcast with him, and he was saying like football players like the most athletic people in the world. He was saying like because Logan Paul, he do wrestling now for WWE. He's like not as athletic as NFL players, and they was going back and forth about like who's more athletic and stuff like that. So then Tom Brady call him a big and all that stuff. It like took me back to that conversation because they already arguing about the best athletes in the world. So it's like, man, I'll beat them all up, basically. So he upset because Tom Brady was siding with NFL players saying, we the best athletes in the world. You can't do what football players do.
Logan Paul, you better take that out on Tom Brady. You messing with some dogs, man. You messing with some dogs. And a lot of us have more of a boxing background than you realize, brother. So we seen your fight with Floyd Mayweather. You didn't look too hot. You look like you ready to brawl and all those type of things. That's not what boxing is about. And Myles Garrett is 6'4", 270 pounds of straight power, and he's a very athletic dude. Logan Paul isn't a good fighter. I mean, maybe he's a good fighter, but he isn't a good boxer. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can fight like, no rules and things like that. But when you talk about getting in the ring, the art of boxing, Logan Paul is not good at that. But one thing I will say about Logan Paul is him and his brother, they do have a lot of heart. And they aren't scared, man. They aren't scared of pretty much anything. They ain't scared to do anything, really. They some wild boys, so they do have a lot of heart.
Bernard Jacobs, he said, call me out. Like, I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah, and that's another one. That's
Jacobs,
another
he's like 6'5".
Yeah, that's another place. About 6'3", 6'4", 250 pounds plus. But he has a boxing background. Yeah, and Logan Paul might not realize that and understand that. He has a boxing background. Like myself, I was thrown in the boxing ring way back when I was 8 years old. So I have a boxing background, and we've been boxing for a while. So, I mean, but Logan Paul, man, he doesn't have boxing skills like that at the end of the day. Now, his brother Jake Paul, he's more of a polished boxer than Logan Paul is, but
they need to box each other. They need to just box each other.
I mean, I think that would be an interesting fight, if they came out there and was serious against each other. But remember that fight that Logan had against Floyd Mayweather, man? If y'all remember that fight, Logan is a much bigger fighter than Floyd Mayweather is. And he still couldn't do any damage to a smaller Floyd Mayweather. So that right there alone.
Like 50 pounds bigger. 50 pounds
bigger and probably 4 or 5 inches taller.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there let me know that he doesn't understand the art of boxing. He doesn't understand how to box properly and take someone out, basically. And it's an art to it. And he was just in the ring, just swinging, running up on Mayweather, no distance, like, just smothering his punches, and it didn't look good at all. And you get in there with a real boxer that's athletic, that's his size, I mean, it's going to be a different story.
Would you take that challenge, that $1 million challenge, and step in the ring with him?
Yeah, I think I have to take that challenge, man. I have to put these paws on him, man. I think I have to take. But the only issue would be my endurance. I have to hurry up and hit some miles, get on the trail, jog me a few miles and things like that, man. But
people don't understand how hard it is to go 3 minutes in a round. That's three minutes seems short to you, but you're in that boxing, it feels like a lifetime.
You do not play boxing, man. You do not play boxing, But yeah, I think once you in the ring with a much smaller opponent, then you can't take them out, hurt them, make them quit, TKO, anything. I think that looks bad on a guy like Logan Paul, even though it's Floyd Mayweather. I mean, you have to understand boxing. Floyd was just covering up. You know, he couldn't really fight back because the guy was a lot bigger and things. So, you know, I didn't look at that fight as impressive at all from Logan Paul. But he's specifically targeting current football players for a reason, because he understands some of us retired players are training and ready. You know what I mean? He'll F around and find out. But it was a clip, man. It was a clip floating around a while back. I remember a while back, and it was a clip of Shaq and Oscar De La Hoya. They was in the ring moving around, you know, boxing and things like that. And if you can see the massive size difference that Shaq had over Oscar De La Hoya, I mean, I understand that Oscar De La Hoya is the professional boxer, has all the skills, the wisdom, the experience, so on, etc. But physically, there's just nothing you can do against a guy like Shaq. And that is what I see happening when he enters the ring with a guy like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett put them paws on Logan Paul, man, and he be thinking twice about boxing. But then again, it's his brother Jake Paul got in there with Anthony Joshua and suffered a broken jaw, and he's ready to. I'm sure he's gonna fight again.
For sure,
he's gonna fight again. But if y'all don't understand boxing, man, boxing is about endurance. Got to have that experience, and you have to be in the gym. That you got to get repetition. Got to have that repetition over and over. You got to just box and fight, do drills. That's what it's about. If you don't have it, all of those three things, you mess around and get hurt in that ring. Definitely can get hurt.
And a lot of times where you see like these fighters have layoffs, you could do all the sparring in the world. The sparring kind of don't like match up to actually being a real fight. So you see those like fighters be having like a 2-year layoff and they come out and looking all rusty because it's like football, man. It's like game time play and like practice. Practice can't really live up to the speed of the real game. Like you really got to get in game shape. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between like game shape, boxing shape. It's a really big difference. You could run all the miles you could, but when you want you in there, you got to actually be in there, like you said, that repetition, that repetition.
And then it's mentally. You got to get through it mentally. You got to understand that. You got to understand how to fight in the ring when you're stupid tired, you're dead tired, you're thirsty. One thing you don't do in boxing is you don't get to drink a lot of water because you got to get back in the ring. And in training, you only have 30 seconds rest. Right back to it. And it looks easy, but man, it is one of the most challenging sports you can ever try, boxing. Woo! Man, I remember my first days getting into the boxing ring, man. I had to jump out the ring because my coach, he was just putting his hands up, put that pressure on me going forward, and I was tagging him. I made him leak, I made him bleed and everything, but he said he was coming forward. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the repetition, all those things that I talked about. So I didn't know what else to do. And I'm like, I'm not finna let him knock me out. So I just jumped out the ring. That's what I learned, man. That's what I learned, man. Hey, boxing is different, man. But hey, you keep boxing, and I learned, man. And I'm a better boxer, baby. I'm a better boxer. And now we got Ryan Clark, man. We have Ryan Clark. How does everyone feel about these analysts, man, having a national audience to spin any subject how they feel and not be held accountable? How does everyone feel about that? Because I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm just fed up with it, with these analysts up there being able to spew any conversation they want, the way they want to control the narrative and not be held accountable. I don't like it. I'm sick and tired of it. And when you get people like myself, that attacks the subject head on, they don't want to talk about it anymore. Why is that?
That's the part you don't like.
That's the part that gets me upset.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be a nice, simple debate? You want to be so brave and go up in front of a national audience or whatever audience you have and speak on things that you have no idea about. I don't like it. Now, the update, guys. Yes, because there's an update. Mr. Sensitive Nancy decided he couldn't take the pressure from Mr. Pick Six anymore, and it was time for him to use that sensitive button, the block button against Mr. Pick Six. Check him out. Check him out, man. Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan Clark, it says, you have been blocked. Ryan Clark has blocked you. Yes, I made it, y'all. Man, this is a badge of honor, guys. Everyone that has made it. And Ryan Clark has blocked us. Hold up a fist, baby, for your badge of honor for the Ryan Clark block team, baby. Block crew. Yes, I made it, man. He finally blocked me. And all I did was tweet. I may have said something that he didn't like. Like he says a lot of things that we don't like. We don't like what he says. And I just simply was stating the facts, giving him the truth, sending him the truth so he can be more educated on situations and not just speak foolishly like he always does. Me, myself, I like to learn. If I'm saying something wrong, teach me what's right so I can learn what's right and correct myself. That's how I roll. But you send it to a guy like Ryan Clark after he speaks foolishly. He doesn't know how to man up and answer back. He runs like a sensitive guy, like he just showed us he is. And all that did was give me more ammunition. I don't know why he thought blocking me would make anything better. That's just going to agitate me more to say more things about Ryan Clark. Does he know who he's dealing with? He needs to go pull up some of my practice film and see how long-winded I am and how much I can talk. I can do this forever. You understand what I'm saying? I wake up one morning and decide you are the topic of discussion and make you the topic of discussion for no reason. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the problem, man, the problem Ryan Clark has, man, it only could be one of two things. Either he is an extremely sensitive guy, or he just refuses to acknowledge the truth. It has to be one or the other. Because like I said, I gave him the truth. I gave him the facts. But he decided to block me. So it could be either he's a sensitive guy or he just refuses to acknowledge the truth. You know, that's weak. That's weak to me, man. That's just weak to me.
Yeah, you got a lot of people on your page talking to you. You ever block anybody?
Yeah, I block some people, man. I don't allow the outrageous comments. Like when me and Coach, I was going at Tony Dungy. I'm gonna say we was going at it, but when I was going at Tony Dungy, they would say things that happened to him and his family that that I asked them to erase it first, and they didn't erase it, so I would block them because situations, things like that being said isn't necessary. I'm just here to talk shit, man, and get answers. You know what I mean? But for Ryan Clark, man, not being able to acknowledge the truth, man, that's just weak to me. That is weak. Someone that doesn't mind talking shit all day long about people, but refuse to have a conversation about it is just simply weak. That's simply weak to me. And I didn't ask Ryan Clark to go up there on the pivot and say my name when I was having my power hour about Darrell Reeves and, man, with Shannon Sharp and Coach Prime and things like that. I didn't ask him to go up there and say my name. He decided to go up there and use my name in a disparaging way, in a disparaging sense, So to me, as a man, it's only fair you go back as loud as you did and go state the facts. That's all I'm asking.
What you think what the last straw was? What made him block you? What was it?
There was a stat that I just found recently, right? And you can Google it for me, so you can bring it up on this live, right? And historically and statistically, Asante Samuel's 2006 season was the best of any cornerback in the history of the NFL since 2006, because they only had the metrics and everything available since 2006. So Google it. since 2006, so you can read it. You know, my stats that season, I didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. I didn't make All Pro. I didn't make anything. So I didn't get any recognition for that season. But that is what I mean. That is a fact. That is documented pretty much everywhere. Now you're going to have some stories that try to give other cornerbacks, you know, publicity and name recognition because that's how it goes in the media world. But in 2006, historically and statistically, Asante Samuel has pretty much had the best season of any cornerback. And that's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay, man. It's okay to have strong belief against someone's abilities, but once you are confronted with the truth, you must say it loud just as you did when you was wrong and correct the misinformation. That's the problem I have.
Yeah, I see. It says since 2006, a number of elite corners have failed to overtake Asante Samuel record, including Richard Sherman, Chris Harris Jr., and Darrell Rivas. But
Right.
I don't see the numbers, but it do say since 2006 the overall grade was 93.1.
No, that ain't this the wrong one. But yeah, man, we was going at it. And I sent it to him. Maybe you could go on my it was a while ago. Yeah, you have to go on the Ryan Clark. I don't know, it was a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here you go. Oh, that's 2012.
Dang, you ain't get the
Huh?
I said you ain't get the Pro Bowl or nothing after having the best season.
Man, I didn't get anything that season. That was crazy, man. Try Pro Football Focus 2000 Asante Samuel's 2006 season. And it should pop up somewhere. But men like Ryan Clark, man, men like Ryan Clark are a danger to society. No accountability. And then when he apologized, you can tell it's mandated by the boss man after making him, you know, the face of making these annoying takes. Only time he apologized when the boss man says, this is a time for you to apologize. Other than that, man, he keeps it moving every day like nothing happened. Like he has said nothing wrong, done anything wrong. And Ryan Clark, man, I see, man, a lot of people disagree with Ryan Clark and how he handles the media and things that he say. A lot of people, man. He created definitely a group of a crew of people that hate just to watch him and listen to it, man.
So
man.
In 15 games in 2006, 10 interceptions, 24 pass deflected. That tied the most, and the most interceptions was 10.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I found it. Here you go. Bang, I'm finna text it to you. I'm gonna let Drees read this to y'all. This is about the last segment of the night. It says, when ranking greatest single seasons ever, I don't want y'all to think I'm being biased or anything like that. I'm gonna let Drees read it, and maybe I'll reread it to y'all. But I just, like I said, man, the facts are the facts. Why go up there and try to make assumptions and say this is just my opinion and things like that? Like you watched every game of every cornerback and you know exactly what you was talking about. That you don't. No one does. No one does. Unless everyone went back and rewatched games. Ryan Clark, there's no way he can say anything factual like that. Like you watch so many games and you understand the difference between these running cornerbacks. I can talk like that because I've studied pretty much every cornerback. I went back and rewatched games. I watched games while I was playing and while we was playing at the same time and rewatching because I wanted to see what anyone was supposedly doing better than myself because I know I was killing it out there. Oh, that's the problem I have, man. That's the problem I have with people. That accountability. But go ahead, read it to him. Read it to him.
When ranking the greatest single season ever by a New England Patriots cornerback, several stand down history, but one remains statistically the best, and is Asante Samuel 2006 season. The elite grade was 93.2. The highest single season PFF grade for Patriots cornerback. among the best of the PFF era for any quarterback. The turnover machine had 12 interceptions that year, leading the NFL, disrupting opposing offenses all season long. The big impact to interceptions, he broke up a ton of passes and held the Patriots' pass defense be one of the most.
Hold on. Let me cut you right there.
In the league.
Let me cut you right there. Let me bring it on for him so we can see this.
You can't change history, y'all. You can't change the history.
Can't change history. Jesus, where did this thing just go? Is this it? Can't change history, man. Mm-hmm. Can't change history, y'all. So check it out, right? Now, this is all Googleable. This is all public information to everyone. So for a guy who's supposed to be Ryan Clark to go up in front of a national audience or his podcast and act like he's telling the truth while trying to talk down on another man, I can never agree with that. I can never get down with that. And then you let time go by. When I blatantly showed you the truth and you still refuse to acknowledge it, I have a big problem with that. Mm-hmm. It says, when ranking the greatest single season ever by a New England Patriots cornerback, several stand out historically. But one season rises above the rest statistically and historically. Asante Samuel, 2006 season. Elite grade. Pro Football Focus gave Samuel a 93.2 overall grade in 2006. The highest grade, the highest single season PFF grade for a Patriots corner and amongst the best in the PFF era of any cornerback. Any cornerback. Mm-hmm. Must I say more? You understand what I'm saying? Any cornerback, historically and statistically. So for him to not want to represent the truth or recognize the truth, refuse to want to know the truth, I just have a problem with that. I'm always going to have a problem with that. You decided to go up there and say my name. He wanted to say it. Hey, you got to deal with it.
Always got to override their opinions, man.
Huh?
I said the facts got to always override the opinions. You can't stick with the opinions. You got to stick with the facts, and that's a fact.
You have to stick with the facts, man. Those are the facts. That's what I'm trying to say. You can have all your opinions you want because, like I said, no one is able to watch all of the games. But when you are presented with the facts, you have no choice.
You gotta acknowledge it.
You got to acknowledge it. You have no choice. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. Or you just want to stick around and continue to say what I said was right. Man, that's some flaw-ass shit to me. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised like that. You feel me? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I don't know, man. We're going to see, man. The free agency is coming up in a few days, March 11th. I mean, some of these contracts, they're already being negotiated. Teams are already contacting players, their players' agents, and already having these contracts worked. Now, I've been a part of it. I'm telling you what's happening. Some of these teams probably have contacted these players during the season. That's back in the day. I don't know if they are brave enough to still get down like that. But
they have investigations on that.
Yeah. But watch out for Alec Pierce, man. Alec Pierce, man, I see him as being a great fit for the New England Patriots. He should be the number one on the board for Mike Vrabel to pair up with Drake May in free agency. And I hope he's at the top of the board when this March 11th free agency starts. Man, and he brings him to New England, man. And yeah, man. Hopefully New England and the Patriots. I mean, New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles can make it to the Super Bowl, both my teams, and I can have on 2 jerseys, man, representing and having a good time, man.
He's like having 2 jerseys.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Joanna say, man, can't nobody take that away for you. What you talking about specifically, if you remember? What you say? My stats, historically and statistically, exactly, man. And it's like what they try to do. They want to rewrite history, and I'm right here. Like, you just gonna do this in front of my face? Yeah, they got away with it when I was playing because I didn't know the things that was being represented on television while I'm playing. But now that I'm done and I've been done and I see all the things that was being said, and man, boy, they lucky I wasn't able to have a Twitter and a podcast and all those things back then. Man, I would have been chewing these people out left and right. They wouldn't be able to survive. They would have been scared to talk about people after I was done with them. But that's all, man. That's all we got for Thursday Night Vibes, man. I hope everybody's have a blessed weekend this weekend, man. Everybody continue to stay safe, man. Get ready for spring break. Health is wealth, man. Make sure we out there, man, exercising, man, doing your blood work, man. And you see, man, keeping the skin clean, making sure you're drinking your water, eating your vegetables, Sometimes you don't have to put meat into your breakfast or your dinner and things like that, man. Just little things like that, man. So y'all keep vibing with us, man. Like I said again, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. And we're gonna see y'all next time. I'm your boy Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel.
That's your boy 2-3 Drees.
And we're gonna see you next time. We are up out of here.